Let me see who's on quickly. Dale. You've always got a good way with words, Dale. This is just a quick one. Dale, this is a wee quick one. I've had a couple of people in the past 2 days. A big guy I'm in chat with just now about pre-gambling, and my pal. And this is off the back of my Facebook post about my mate that took his own life due to this drug. So I want to talk quickly about this, guys, for 10 or 15 minutes. Okay? I need to talk about this quickly. Selena, you need to listen to this. This is important, guys. So I'm just going to go on with it. I'm not going to wait for everybody to join. I'm not being ignorant, but I've got a lot to do tonight. I've got another live coming up tonight, guys, with somebody really, you know, a YouTube guy whose story must be told. But for the moment, we're going to talk quickly about prescription drugs. So, without further ado, on my personal Facebook, a few months back, I spoke about my mate's story. My mate was 31. We were on a roof, a low roof. He slipped, fell off the roof, damaged a nerve in his neck. Long story short, he was prescribed massive abundances of prescription drugs, okay? I'll say hello to everybody. I will not go through everybody one at a time, guys. Thanks for being on. I'm going to get back to this in a couple of days, but at the moment I just want to give you a heads up about why I'm bringing this to the channel. So he was prescribed a massive amount of these drugs, right? And basically one thing led to another, and his health declined dramatically, very, very quickly. He went from happy-go-lucky to a shadow of himself over a very quick period of time, and he got no help. They just kept topping him up with drugs. Pre-gambling. I've got his medical records. Martin took his life, left his partner and 3 kids, and it was a horrific event. And I'll never forget that day. It was me that cut Martin down, and I'll never forget it. He was a young guy, prime of his life, and his life was cut short. I blame entirely the GPs that failed Martin. I blame them entirely, 100%. And some people may say that's not fair, okay? But I blame them entirely, and I will elaborate. I'm going to do a proper video on this. The reason I blame them entirely is because they lied. So on the medical records, they lied about a certain appointment that never happened. I took Martin to that appointment. I dropped him off. So they lied, and I know why they lied as well. They lied because they overprescribed him. They gave him way over the maximum daily human consumption amount. And another doctor that looked at it said, "Why are you on this? Who gave you this?" And there was so many slip-ups and trip-ups and cover stories. And I've always said that the GPs are the sales reps for Big Pharma. You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, guys. I'm also not an idiot. I've been around, and I'm very well read. I don't just go and make elaborate claims with no backup. I know where to look for the right information. I know where not to look, and I know what platforms not to listen to. One of them being anything printed in Facebook. Anybody can write anything. You have to be diligent. You have to do your homework on the facts. So my friend was failed, and the reason I'm talking now is because someone else has been on them for 4 or 5 years, and he's been recently told by a GP to stay on them for another year for no reason. And then today I'm speaking to my other mate who is also on them and having horrific experiences with them, and asking a GP for advice, saying, "I want to get off of these," and the GP's saying, "No, you should just stay on them, they're doing you good." But there is no good, because said person said to the GP, I feel numb from my head to my feet. My brain's scrambled. My thought process, I can't organise my day. I've put on 5 stones since I started taking them. I've been on them for 30 months and nothing's any better. Why are you telling me, to stay on them after 4 or 5 minutes of an appointment, or just because it's the best thing to do? Right, guys, this has probably been rushed, right? And it really shouldn't be rushed, because it's a very, very serious matter. Why is it serious to me? Well, if any of you guys are on these, okay, in my non-expert, non-trained opinion, you have to firstly ask yourself why you're on them. Do you feel a benefit? And if you don't feel a benefit, if you do, carry on with your journey. If you don't feel a benefit and you feel that nothing in your life is changing, okay, please, 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 I beg you, go to your GP and ask for a second opinion. If they fail you, which I know that they will, and they'll tell you that you can't get an appointment, or just, they'll just fob you off, I know that that's going to be the answer. Again, I will tell you down the line why I know that's going to be the answer. Ask for an alternative opinion from a different GP, from the same practice or a different practice. Mark my words, you will be surprised by the answer you get. And if you're not satisfied with the second opinion, ask for a third opinion and tell me if their answers are generic, scripted, generic, word for word. Now guys, I don't want to rush this, but I just need to strike just now while the iron's hot. It's slightly off the normal topic, but as the channel grows, I'm going to discuss everything and anything that means something to me. It's my platform, it's my channel. And prescription drugs and the abuses of them in this country, and I mean the administrative abuses, GPs prescribing them willy-nilly, is a major, major, major thorn in my side, okay? When it results in the death of a perfectly healthy young man, there is a problem that needs addressing. Alright guys? So, just to be clear here, I have several people close to me currently on prescription drugs, pregabalin and gabapentin, 2 of the most massively abused drugs in the UK. They're abused in a gigantic scale within the prison system. They are abused by street level addicts. They are massively counterfeited. There is an epidemic problem with them in Northern Ireland, in Belfast in particular. In the Southern Ireland, in the Crumlin district, the North Inner City district, the Dublin slums that they call them. No disrespect to anyone that lives there, that's a fairly common term for those places. They are abused all over Glasgow, and they are readily available, and people that get prescribed them often begin selling them because they're highly profitable and they're very, very sought after, okay? Like tramadol, on a lower end of the spectrum, cocodamol is massively abused, as is solpadeine, solpadol, stuff like that, okay? These drugs are potent, they're very potent if you buy the right ones. So, although this is, excuse me guys, although this is a quick hit and I'm rattling through this is a warm-up for what's going to come. I will be on for an hour or two in the next few nights talking about this, and it will be a couple of hours easily, and it will be unrehearsed, and it will be not off a script. It's all in here. I've got a massive amount of information in this stuff, and the companies behind the push and the propaganda to get it out there and get the masses hooked on it. Why GPs, to a man and woman, are repeatedly telling adults to stay on these drugs for another year. What the hell does that even mean? When you go in and say, listen, I've been on these 3 years, I think I'm immune to them. No, just stay on them. And then 3 or 4 minutes later, you're leaving that GP's office. There is something seriously, deeply sinister with these sales reps, these GP sales reps. If anyone in the channel is medically trained or practice trained, anything at all qualified to condemn me or shoot me down or correct me at any time, please do. We debate on this channel. We don't hate, we don't slight each other, we debate. Guys, I'm open to critique from anyone as long as it's from an educated stance and you are well rehearsed in this stuff, as I am. Why am I rehearsed in it? Why have I took the time to learn about this? I've learnt in depth about prescription drugs and how big pharma work and how free prescriptions work and what's generated from them, because I'm very passionate about people's health. I believe that the public, the uneducated public, which we are, we're non-expert. I believe that those in power and authority have a moral obligation to give us the correct information, not falsified information in order to generate profit at the end, for the end person. Okay, when you dig deeply into anything, into any mass-produced, mass-issued drug, there is always a huge corporation behind it, usually funded by hedge fund billionaires or a consortium of shady characters, usually involving politicians that sit there as directors or advisors. It's all very, very sinister. What you never find is an honest person involved in these companies. You never find an honest person. But I'm going to let you know that there's an honest guy now serving drugs. He's now selling drugs, life-changing cancer treatments at a tenth of the price that Big Pharma and the American companies are charging. Because we all know in America people can't afford these life-saving drugs because they're ridiculously priced out the market. So people die. They die in pain. They die horrifically. And they die from something that could be managed. They just can't afford it. I've probably hit you with this quite quick and at dinner time and off the cuff. I had to strike while the iron's hot, guys, so for that I do apologise. And it is slightly off topic. The reason I'm bringing it here is because I've done this before on my personal Facebook page, but I understand a lot of people are not on that. My public page was deleted by Facebook with 180,000 followers. I won't cry over it, it's spilt milk. My personal page I'm trying to move away from because Facebook is too watered down and it, repeated bans for exposing stuff. So I'm bringing it to YouTube and we will see how YouTube handle it, my content. So in the next few days, I'll try and give you some prior warning. I need to learn how to put a post up that you can see when I'm going to be on and stuff. I'll get Lee or that to help me with that. And we're going to have a proper couple of hours about this, guys, and I'm going to properly tell you my friend's story. And I'm going to back it up with evidence, with solid, hard, unquestionable, unfiltered evidence, how he was failed. He was failed at every level. He was failed to the point that the lies were so blatant that we didn't have, myself and his partner didn't have to look hard to find them. So his story will be told again. It was told on Facebook recently, it's many thousand views. It will now be told again here for you guys, and hopefully other YouTubers might share his story and get the word out there. I'm just waiting to hear back from a YouTube guy if we're going to go live tonight, guys. And I hopefully we will. And if not, I will reschedule for tomorrow night, and we will definitely push ahead tomorrow night. So Selena's talking about Ron. I know Ron personally. I talk to Ron regularly. Ron Swanson. Yeah, Ron's done some exposures and stuff, and Ron polarises people. He splits opinion. And what I've found of Ron is Ron's been a great help for certain causes close to my own heart. And he's done it for no benefit to himself. So good luck to Ron. And Ron's a decent bloke. He's certainly very, very clued up with the editing and stuff. Eddie Hearn. Eddie, I'm going to get my glad rags on, and I'm going to go and do a quick 10 or 15 minutes. And that's just to blow some steam off, because I'm shielding it well, but I've got a bee in my bonnet just now. Only because in conversation the past, since yesterday to today, a couple of friends and a couple of followers of the page have opened up. I never name people directly, it's in confidence, but their problems and their woes and their worries are all generic. It's all the same. I'm going to tell you something else, guys, right? Something else that I'm prepared to expose and put my name on it publicly anywhere. I've got a dozen people that I know on a personal level that will make statements against a certain organisation in the south side of Glasgow that are telling addicts and recovering addicts that can't get prescription stuff to go out in the street and buy street Valium and try and wean themselves off them that way. Professionals sitting in desks telling addicts to go and buy street Valium, the same street Valium that contain fentanyl and ketamine and all sorts of stuff that are killing people stone dead all over Ayrshire just now, in Dundee and Perthshire in particular. And it's been witnessed by multiple people on a shockingly large scale. This is professionals. Wow, it's unbelievable. And I think we've got an obligation, if you're in a better place than somebody and you're not struggling with something like that, and you've got the power to stand up for someone that is, and you've got the voice, or perhaps the platform, or you just have the guts to stand up for someone, then do it. If you know someone, I have, OG, I know exactly what you're talking about. If you know someone that is struggling with addiction and they are possibly not getting what they need professionally and they're swaying towards the street stuff, step up and step in. Do it, because you just don't know. Like, the next tablet can kill somebody. People's lives are worth saving. We've all been guilty at times in my life at looking at an addict in the street, and maybe when you're younger and you're a bit less mature, you laugh at somebody, or you stupidly say, oh, look at the state of him, or a drunk. We don't know what put that person there. And I'm not proud to say at times in my life I probably called somebody a junkie. And who are we to call anybody that? It's not right. It's not funny. I don't like people that share stuff when somebody's falling around the pavement, or I don't like it. I'm not into it. I'm not, maybe it's age, I don't know. But if I ever did laugh at anybody, then, I'm sorry for that. But through education, we learn that I believe I'm a strong person, but not everybody's as strong as me. And those with a weaker will, it's so easy to get hooked. And I've learned so much in the past few years about addiction, and what the triggers are, and what it actually feels like. And I'm so glad that I've got a stronger will than the average person, because who knows how anybody's life could be. Who knows what put people there. I'm kind of diverting a little bit, and what I want to say is that I'm going to do the live. It'll probably be by the weekend, and it will be a couple hours, and I'm going to give a date for half a dozen people to meet at a location. I'm going to take you a really lovely walk, and we are going to do something. We're going to do a live kind of topic. We're going to do a live kind of sit down and a talk. And if anyone who's recovered from addiction or is in recovery wants to come and join me, I would love to hear from you. And I would love you to come on and tell your story while we go a wander up a mountain. And I'll provide all the kit. Just turn up with your boots. I've got most of the other kit here. Boots and a jacket, I've got backpacks, everything else. I've also got tents and that. I can put a wee campsite together. You can come in couples or individuals, you can have your own tent. I've got 3 or 4 tents. I've got another load of kit there, compliments of Charlie Fleeting. And I'm going to put a date together for these guys. Rules are simple, no drugs, no alcohol, that's it. And everything else you'll be fed by me, so all good. Well guys, that was a quick one, and it was probably a bit messy and a bit of a rabble maybe, and I'm sorry for just bombarding you with it, but I have to put it out there so that I come back to it. You're going to be shocked with the level of complacency and the willy-nilly nature with GPs issuing these life-altering, mind-bending, potent, life-changing drugs. I was involved with the Women's Aid to home a young female from the south of England who had to flee a very abusive partner. This was several years ago, no names, and it doesn't matter anyway because you would never know. But so she came to us, we got her in, and all was fine. But they did say to us, if the partner gets wind of this, she'll be gone again, like that. That was fine. 4 or 5 months went by, and boom, she was gone. So the representative called me, settled up the bits and the bobs, closed out the tenancy, and that was that. And when I went in, this young girl was a mother of 2, and I think she was 6 stone wet through. Tiny wee thing. And me and my mate went in to clear the property, and there were 10 dozen boxes of the strongest doses of all of the things I've mentioned: fluoxetine, sertraline, citalopram, metrazapine, everything. It was all there, and it was all hers. It was all prescribed to hers. I put it in a bag and filled the bag, and I basically took it to a health centre, and I said, can I ask why that all of that would be issued to a girl that's barely 6 stone wet through? And they wouldn't entertain me. And I was so shocked. Her body must have been saturated to the point of absolute consumption. It stuck in my head for years, and it's still in my mind. I actually think about it often when I'm discussing stuff like this. It's always the event that comes to my mind. I could never believe that a young girl at 21 could be prescribed that amount of medication so willy-nilly. Unbelievable. Food for thought, guys. The person that's prescribing you, you're supposed to be able to put your trust in. They don't know anything about you. You get an appointment, you're in and out in 5 or 6 minutes, and they give you stuff that changes your life forever, nullifies you from there, from your neocortex to the soles of your feet. And I think it's absolutely atrocious, the system of, you know, the dispensing of these drugs on a judgment. And my own personal experience was I spoke to a GP I'd never met before. The other GP was away that day, and 3 or 4 minutes in and out, 3 or 4 boxes slid over the table. Try these, we'll see you in 3 months. Never asked me anything about my life, nothing at all. Never asked me anything. I'm going to elaborate in the next few days, guys, and we'll take it up from here. The reason that I had a major problem with GPs issuing men my age antidepressants is because the very first thing that they should do is test your bloods and check your testosterone levels. But that's another story. Anyway, cheers for listening as always. Hope you have a good day. Hope you're having a good week. I don't want to go through all the comments. I appreciate everyone's commented. I'm not going to get through them all because I might end up debating with somebody. I am not an expert, guys, and I don't think anyone that's commenting will be an expert. If you are, love to hear from you. But what I have done is I've spent many years reading up and learning about this and educating myself, and I've read a lot of peer-reviewed documentation and all sorts of articles about this stuff, and I think I've got a pretty good overall knowledge of serotonin inhibitors and, you know, neurological drugs like gabapentins and pregabalins, which, you know, that's what they are. But yeah, they issue them for the strangest things, and then they have people on them for 10 years without even a visit back, just a repeat prescription for 10 years unchecked. I've got one person and all the proof that they were on them for 21 years before they were asked back for a review checkup. 21 years. 21 years. OG's saying 10 years is nothing. You're correct. Dozens of people, 15 years, 18 years, 17 years, but 21 years is the most I've heard of so far. And we did a live with this fella, which was viewed 5,000 or 6,000 times. Oh man, I could go on, honestly, it's unbelievable. So, quick one, if you're on them, perhaps it's time to have that review with your GP and go in and ask some questions. Maybe together between us all we could list 4 or 5 questions. You know, why am I still on them? What, you know, is there anything else available? Is there something perhaps more friendly to my organs or my brain that's available? There's a lot to talk about, guys. There's a lot to talk about. So, yeah. I think between us all we can help one another. And anyone that is struggling and anyone that's moved into recovery and that is on the journey, respect, love and light to you. Stay on the page, stay as part of the team. We're a team. This channel's not my channel, it's your channel, it's everyone's, it's ours as a collective. It's only as good as you guys. If it was just me, it would be crap. So I appreciate you all being here. And big guy, Big Dell, is a big pal of mine. My whole life I've known him. Big Dell's on, big clever guy as well. He commented right at the start. And straight away, you know, the minute I said something, his comments about the side effects, you know, everybody, no one's got a good opinion of this stuff. It's all bad. And he would know because he does his homework. So guys, I don't know if he's still here, but if you're there, Dell, thanks for coming on, mate. And we'll see you soon. So, I will get off just now. I need to go and check to see if somebody's saying they've watched Dell for 6 years. Big Dell's good. He's good. You do well to win an argument with the big fella. I'm going to go and check. Right, he is still on. Brilliant. Cheers, big man. See you soon, definitely. Bring and look at to meet you. It's dying to meet you. I'll be back on tonight, guys, with another YouTube fella, and this is a story that must be told. I'm looking for people to share it. We have to get this story out here. This is a family that need justice. I won't tell you what it is right about right now, but it's a must listen. It's a shocking story. Very, very personal, tragic story. So I'll be back on shortly to let you know if we're going live tonight. Thank you for listening. Talk later. Bye-bye.